So let's start with just bringing our awareness again to our body. Starting to bring our awareness inward, our mind, consciousness inward. Different words that we use for mind, awareness, consciousness, heart. It's all the same thing in the Buddhist tradition. So in Western society, we know very well how to take care of the body in terms of exercise, diet. Not so much, still learning, mainly from the Eastern traditions, how to take care of our mind, how to take care of our heart. That's something we haven't focused on in the last centuries in the West. We haven't really taken care, haven't acknowledged really well that we have a heart, we have a mind. And all our experience of happiness, dissatisfaction, fear, joy, all comes from that mind, that consciousness. So just like we wake up in the morning and shower and eat breakfast, maybe exercise a little bit to take care of the body, basic fundamental things we need to do to take care of the body. Meditation is something fundamental we need to bring into our life to take care of the mind, to take care of our emotional world, our spiritual world, to have a healthy mind. So we start by just bringing the awareness, being aware of ourselves, bringing awareness into our body, starting at the crown of the head. And using breath and awareness to do what we call a scan of the body. Scanning from the crown, starting to move down with our awareness slowly through the body, like a stream, gentle stream, into the brow, around the eyes. Breathing in and releasing and relaxing any tension, any tightness, creating space, awareness, bringing prana with our mind and awareness into that area. Slowly moving down further, gently moving down around the jaw area, letting go any tension maybe around the jaw, and just gently closing the teeth together. This is the placement of the mouth for meditation, having the teeth gently closed with the tongue on top of the palate, so that the saliva stops the saliva flowing when we meditate, so it stops that disturbance. So just checking there, and then bringing space and energy, the breath and awareness. Continuing to move down with our stream of consciousness and awareness, down through the neck, shoulders. Move our awareness to the back of the neck. And from the back of the neck all the way up to the crown, find that line where we find the crown pointing up towards the sky. This is another point in our meditation posture, to have the crown, the tip of the crown pointing up towards the sky, so the chin is slightly tucked under, and that allows the stream of energy down the crown, down the back of the neck, and all the way down the spine to flow through what we call the central channel, subtle energy channel of the body. So the neck, the chin's not too far forward, but not falling back. Just slightly tucked under, and that opens up the back area of the neck. Then moving down through the shoulders and the chest, just opening up the shoulders, opening up the chest in a natural way. Continue to move down the back body. Again, checking that the spine is relatively straight from the crown through the back of the neck, all the way down to just to the sit bones. So we're not slouching in the middle part, lower part of our back, or the top part of our back. Moving down the front of the body with awareness, especially down into the stomach, a couple of breaths just to release and let go any tension in the stomach. And then a few breaths just checking in with the hips, the legs, making sure we have some level of strength in the lower part of the body, hips and legs, to support the sort of length, the straightness, and as well as the suppleness of the upper part of the body. So the legs are supporting, especially the spine, so we're not slumping back or forward. And now our awareness more in the body. We bring our awareness to more specifically to the breath and cleaning. So in the Buddhist tradition, we say the wind or consciousness or awareness mind is connected with the wind element in our body. Grosser and subtle levels of wind are connected with grosser and subtle levels of consciousness. So breath is a little bit more grosser level of wind element in the body. But when we clear the breath, do some what we call pranayama, cleansing exercise of the breath, then it helps to clear, clarify the mind, any fogginess in the mind. So let's bring the first finger of our left hand. First finger of the left hand, closing off the right nostril, inhaling through the left and exhaling through the right 3 times, moving that finger from one nostril to the next as we inhale through the left, exhale through the right, clearing the right channel of the body. So we do 3 times, long, slow, deep breathing. You're repeating the same on the other side. First finger of the right hand, closing off the left nostril, inhaling through the right, exhaling through the left 3 times. And we're cleansing here the left channel of the body. Now we cleanse the central channel that runs, again, as I said, from the top of the crown all the way down just below the navel. Inhaling through both nostrils, exhaling through both nostrils 3 times. Take a moment to see if you can find any more space, any more clarity after that meditation, just rest in that for a moment. Connect the spaciousness, the clarity of our own consciousness, our mind, our own heart. And now, as we usually do, we're going to bring our awareness specifically, either keeping it actually on the clarity consciousness, finding that part of our consciousness that's like the sky, that's clear, spacious. Using that as our object in meditation, like the sky. Or, it might be easier to settle our mind to use the breath as our object of meditation. Breathing, using the breath that goes in and out at the tip of the nostrils, or goes in and out at the level of the abdomen. So here we're not changing our breath in any way, we're simply being with the process of the inhalation and exhalation at the level of the nostrils or the abdomen, trying to settle our mind from its usual scattered state. Most likely we'll find that our concentration moves very quickly from the breath onto thoughts or sounds. But when we catch ourselves coming off the breath, our awareness coming off the breath, simply go back gently but firmly to the breath. To keep our mind anchored there, we can count in each breath as 1, counting up to 10. So let's do this for the next 7 minutes. Simply being with the clarity of consciousness, it's like sky, or being with this inhalation and exhalation at the level of the nostrils or the abdomen. So just taking a moment to let go, or relax the mind a little bit from the object. Just being in the body more for a moment. Maybe a few breaths, just checking through the body from the crown all the way down to the toes, seeing when we've generated maybe some tension. Through that effort we're putting, you're trying to place our awareness just on one object. The simple process of the breath. So when we start this type of meditation, it's very interesting to see how much, when we think we have control of our mind, our thoughts, our emotions, but in reality, how that's not true. How we're not able, we don't have the strength of mind to be able to, as much as we want to, place the awareness on the breath, relax our mind from neurotic thoughts, grasping at thoughts. Somehow we don't have the strength, the power in mind to be able to do that. So for a Buddha, or for this practice, it's called calm abiding, or in Sanskrit shamatha, trying to calmly place and abide with one object, having the mind abide on one object for a certain amount of time. So for great meditators, practitioners who've achieved this practice fully, they can place their mind on an object for 4 hours without it moving. This is a sign that one's achieved this practice of calm abiding. For a Buddha, his mind is continually placed on any object for any length of time that he chooses to put his mind onto. But they have what we call complete control of the mind, in a positive way, not in a negative way. This is one of the qualities of the awakened mind, and it's something through effort, right effort, that we can definitely achieve. Also, when we achieve this practice of calm abiding, and we can place the mind on one object, not getting caught in thoughts, sounds, feelings, emotions, the mind, the body experiences a blissful state all the time. So again, this is one aspect of awakened consciousness, always experiencing bliss, peace. And again, this is something too, through effort we can achieve. So let's again, for the next 5 minutes, try again to put our mind on an object. Again, being with the breath, or maybe doing this meditation being with the sky, using the sky, the spaciousness of your own consciousness as the object, imagining the sky, the blue sky, just kind of being absorbed in that place, just like when we're lying on the grass perhaps and we're looking up at the sky, and we just absorb our whole being, our whole consciousness, our whole experience in that sky. And we rest in that, be with that experience for 5 minutes. Not necessarily trying to stop thoughts, but just allowing thoughts to come and go, but being with the sky. Like traces of clouds passing through the sky, but we're not grasping or clinging at them, we're just letting them go past, but we're being absorbed in the experience of being with the sky. So we'll do this for 5 minutes, either this one, or just again as before, being with the experience of the breath. again, just relaxing our mind, our awareness on the breath, on the experience of being with the sky. And it's always helpful to remind us what is the purpose of meditation. Different meditations have different, slightly different purposes or goals. So the goal of this type of meditation is to settle the mind on an object. It's to settle it from distraction so we can develop the power of concentration. But that's not the main goal in meditation in Buddhist tradition. Concentration is just a support in this tradition. But the main practice is overcoming negative states of mind, like anger, fear, too much desire or attachment, and also sort of deeper lack of wisdom, something we call ignorance in the Buddhist tradition. So these are what we call negative states of mind because they create a disturbance in the mind, they dull our mind, they pollute the natural state and purity of our consciousness. They harm ourselves and they harm others. They're not healthy states of mind. So when we do meditation, we're trying to recognize these states of mind, slowly reduce and eliminate them from our mind, our consciousness, and develop positive states of mind, the opposite of these. Clarity, more wisdom, more loving kindness towards ourselves and others, more compassion. Patience, forgiveness. States of mind that when we check up bring more peace into our heart, not just for ourselves but others around us. So when we start meditating, we start entering into our spiritual path. What that's called in Tibetan is called Nangpa, and what it means actually is not Buddhist as such, but an inner being. Someone who's checking inside their mind, inside their heart all the time, to see when negative, disturbed states of mind arise, and also developing the antidotes, positive states of mind. So this is a practice that the Buddhas, the great saints and yogis all developed in their lives, in their hearts, on a daily, continual basis. Checking up what's going on in your mind. Are we creating happiness for ourselves, or are we creating disturbed, suffering, unhappy states of mind? What are we perpetuating in our lives? So meditation doesn't just become about being on the cushion, but we try to hold this kind of state, this mindfulness it's called. We know the word mindfulness now in the West, but mindfulness isn't just being on the cushion, it's when especially when we're off the cushion, being mindful about what's going on in our minds. That's the main meaning in mindfulness, being alert, being aware of what's going on in our mind, and slowly cultivating what's positive and reducing what's negative. This is a sign of a spiritual practitioner, one who's developing that on the cushion and also in their daily lives. So in the Buddhist tradition, what we define as love, this term love that we hear also we use in our lives towards others, we feel in our hearts towards others, how that's defined clearly in the Buddhist tradition is the wish for others' happiness. In a sense, that's what a mother has for her child, only wishing for the child to be happy, to not have any kind of suffering or problem. that thought, that feeling naturally arises from mothers, and most likely from those fathers. So this is what we define as the meaning of love in the Buddhist tradition, and it's also a mind that's free of attachment to the person, but just genuinely holding that other being's well-being in their heart. So of course, not just friends and family, but just like me, all beings around us want to be happy, don't want to have any kind of suffering or problem. Every human being, even the animals in this world, share this common wish, this common need in their lives. So how we can develop this mind of love is also through meditation, awakening this mind of love, through meditation by using what we call in this tradition the power of mantra, reciting mantra that embodies, has this kind of resonance as we recite the syllables with our heart and mind, that awakens that quality of love, loving kindness, compassion, awakens that wish for our own happiness and others' true happiness in our heart. Sound has that power when we hear it, when we chant it. Certain sacred sounds have that power to move our heart and mind in a certain way. So this is also a type of meditation in this tradition, mantra, visualization, to move our heart and mind in a positive direction. So how we do is by imagining, let's imagine an image, a being appearing at about the level of our brow and about a body length away from us, made of white light, moonlight light, appearing like like the image of a moon, but maybe a specific being or deity image that embodies this quality of compassion and quality of love for you, that symbolises that quality, that feeling. Or it can simply be the full moon. It embodies this feeling of peace, embracing the whole world with light. So try and feel the presence of that moon, that image, that being, made of white translucent light. Also having this kind of quality crystal, very clear, very pure. Just by feeling the presence of that object in front of us, or that being, our mind feels more peaceful. Helps to clear away some darkness, some dullness in the mind, in our body. We feel the energy of that moon-like image kind of resonating through all our pores. It's like very pure prana or chi, just going through all our pores of our being, our grosser body, our subtle body, bringing energy, also bringing a certain peace, a certain freedom from maybe heavier states of mind that we feel under the control of. And then what starts to come from that moon is this resonance of the mantra, resonating like an echo and moving towards us and starting to fill our being like light, and also like the feeling of an echo filling our being as we either chant together or just listen to the resonance of the mantra, allowing it to fill your being, allowing it to remove fears, maybe something we're holding on to, negative states of mind we're holding on to towards ourselves, towards others, resentments, long storylines that we have maybe about family members, friends, just allowing them to dissipate as we feel or chant the mantra, and feel this energy of light filling our being, this moonlight light, releasing us from these states of mind, bringing a sense of equanimity and love, openness into difficult situations in our life. So I'll chant the mantra. You can either chant along or again listen and feel the resonance of that mantra, Om Mani Padme Hum. Mani meaning jewel, Padme means lotus. So we're awakening in the lotus of our hearts, the jewel of compassion. We're trying to awaken, feel the presence of that energy, that quality that's already residing in our hearts, but we just need to access, we need to open, we need to develop and nurture. So this is what the mantra does. Om Mani Padme Hum, 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 Om Mani Padme Hum. So take a moment to feel the mantra just like streams of energy, pure energy, moving through your being, just cleaning, cleansing, where we feel closed, where we feel tight in our hearts, allowing space to open towards ourselves and others, perhaps people we have problems with, allowing some space to open. Mantra also has the power to create peace in the heart, clarity in our heart, space. Make our mind more awake towards the reality of ourselves, the reality of others, the reality of how things exist. It awakens our own divine, pure nature, allowing us to feel somehow larger, somehow more clearer than we usually feel. And we finish the visualization part of the meditation by connecting again with the image in front of ourselves, this moonlight image or being, embodying compassion. Imagine it dissolves into a small ball of crystal light. And that light slowly moves towards us, coming to the top of our head, starting to dissolve through our crown. Energizing our crown chakra, starting to energize and seep through our whole body. And it moves down through that central channel that we cleared at the beginning of the meditation, through the 9-round breathing. We cleared both channels at the side plus central channel, so it moves down through that central channel that we cleared, down into the throat, cleansing any kind of negativities with our speech that abide in the throat, harsh speech, maybe lies that we've told. So it just clears that energy as the light, crystal light moves into the throat. And it continues to move down through that central channel into our heart chakra that abides in the centre of our chest, and also where our subtle consciousness, the most powerful part of our being, our subtle consciousness, where all the thoughts, feelings, emotions, the appearances of this life come, it merges with that subtle consciousness. And again, we feel it filling our whole being, that light. And we rest in a moment of just being one with that light, that purer part of ourselves that's beyond fear, anger, desire, attachment. It's just made of pure, radiant light. Like the moon, and it illuminates our whole universe and illuminates all beings from darkness. May I be happy. May I achieve, awaken, develop within ourselves all the different levels of spiritual happiness. And may all beings awaken and develop within themselves the spiritual happiness, the causes of happiness that exist in our own heart and mind, that can develop on the basis of having a pure heart, pure consciousness, which is the most subtle part of your being. So may I and all beings awaken and develop that, highest part of yourselves.